I am speaking. I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here, and welcome to the Colosseum special. Today, we're going to be covering President Donald Trump's address to Congress. I believe it's going to be starting in about 15 minutes, so buckle up, folks. It's going to be an interesting ride. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Tuesday night. Hopefully, we won't dig into Art's stream too much, but he's not going to start for at least another hour and 15 minutes. So we'll see how it goes. But I hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Adric is our first Commodore tonight, and it's on. Yes, it is. It's on. The link is in the chat, so if you want to come up and watch the president's address with me, you can do so now. But we should be getting started in about 15 minutes. But anyway, I already got the stream set up. This is the official White House page, and as soon as they get started, we can get this show on the road. But once again, I hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Peace to you, to Triv. But yeah, we're going to be covering the President Donald Trump's first address to a joint session of Congress since being reelected. And it should be a very interesting show. But in other news, as you saw me play on Saturday, that that meeting between Donald Trump and President Zelensky and Vice President J.D. Vance. Well, it's come out today that how can I say this? It looks like Zelensky has bent the knee. Yeah, he wants to have another meeting with Donald Trump now and renegotiate this deal. All this while Butthurt Blues are claiming that they stand with Ukraine. And that's perfectly fine. Yeah, exactly. Zelensky got some get right. That's perfectly fine. If you stand with Ukraine, I don't have a problem with that. Put on a pair of combat boots, put your combat armor on, and take your ass over there and put yourself on the front line. If they don't kidnap you first and put you on the front line anyway. Oops, did I say that out loud? Yeah. Ukraine isn't exactly what I would call a democracy. It's actually more like what was that word that Donald Trump used to call Zelensky? Oh, right, a dictatorship. What's going on, Ed?
Yeah, what's up? I'm just eating, so I'll be in the background. Let me know when you got a question for me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Zelensky got some get right, and it's I think it's pretty funny because now all these vote blue no matter who knuckleheads look stupid talking about we stand with Ukraine. Okay, the so-called leader of Ukraine just bent the knee to Donald Trump. Now what? What y'all gonna do now? But anyway, I'm just waiting for this live stream to start. It's it's the official White House.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I was meaning to get into this. I had some stuff to do, so
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got back just in time. Um, yeah, you're right. As far as the Zelensky thing, I heard that on NPR, and
Mm-hmm.
it's funny. I've been listening to a lot of NPR, and they just got this counter Trump leverage, like everything he does is wrong, and
Yeah.
that narrative behind it. But it's funny to see Zelensky basically went to Europe, but came back and bent the knee. So apparently, whatever package they were offering, he clearly realized that there's only one, this is a one-way street, and
Yep.
he either get on it and get. So I just would love to be a fly on the room to see
Mm-hmm.
what he would have had to kiss the ring like Nika Zazinski did behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't have just came back and just said my bad, especially with the bullshit he was saying with JD Vance.
Yeah, but apparently he called him a bitch in another language. That was crazy.
Yeah, and JD Vance is not a small dude, and JD Vance is a Marine.
Yeah, that that
So I
dude
mean,
that dude's 6'5" and probably at least 200 plus pounds based on what I've seen.
and JD Vance is a Marine, and JD Vance, it's crazy. It's not like he may be an officer, but it
Mm-hmm.
ain't, you know,
Irrelevant. I was raised by one, and my father was no dude that's not a dude you wanted to play with.
that's crazy. But yeah, but JD Vance understands that that's politics, and he
Yeah.
understands the game too. It's just when you put somebody on the spot like that on the cameras, it's you got to perform, and yeah, that set the tone. So we'll see. So what is Trump supposed to say with this? Is this I know this is not a State of the Union. This is him addressing the Congress.
Yeah, joint session of Congress. He's apparently going to talk about a little bit about he's going to address the economy and talk a little bit about immigration. I guess.
So we're
Apparently
gonna
the
have 3 white men there. It's gonna be funny.
mhm. Apparently the Democrats are or at least some of them are calling themselves boycotting this event or whatever. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the decorum is during this joint session of Congress. But it's gonna
I
be
mean,
interesting
they
to see.
do some stupid stuff with Trump. That's gonna be some, Trump is not a you go low, we go high type of dude. You might get shot doing that.
Yeah. Well, they got their little puppet out there, Jasmine Crockett. So whatever. But let's see. Salute to the snowman in the building. Yeah, what are your thoughts on Joy Reid? Getting fired and all that crap.
Have some dignity. You made a
Facts.
lot of money.
Yep.
You made a lot of money. You probably should have looked at what Roland Martin did and had you like a YouTube platform.
Actually, he does have that.
Let me say this. If you're not building out your social media platform just in case this happens, even
Mm-hmm.
so much so that you have a resume to
Mm-hmm.
take to somewhere else saying, hey, I built this apparatus. This is
Right.
what these tangible numbers are. Not even on the independent route,
Mm-hmm.
but just a resume to say, this is the audience I deal with. Let's do business. This is how
Right.
you know these motherfuckers are corporate shills because they're like 360 deals. If you don't, it's
Mm-hmm.
like Saluti. They don't, without the corporation, they can't do nothing. And you had the opportunity to look at what's worked. Harris Perry is non-existent. Roland Martin kind of has something, going. He
Yeah.
didn't got something a little bit jump started. We're not gonna lie, even though he's still goofy, but he got something. You've had the opportunity to scope that out. You see, what is it with the dude with the mayor that ran for governor? And then the other cross that got fired, that ain't really doing that. And you see what works and what doesn't work. But see, the problem is she understands. I mean, even with the tether thing, there's still other ways she can avenue. But the problem is she understands she's a sellout. She's one of these people. She actually believes she's not a sellout. Because a sellout would have, like, for example, people will say Stephen A. Smith is a sellout, but Stephen A. Smith has a plan. Stephen A. Smith realizes that in order to get the next stage of his money, he's gonna have to move into more of a Joe Rogan thing, and he has that infrastructure there. Maybe not as far along as I think it should be. So, like him or not, he has it there. You got these people. I mean, the internet isn't new. TikTok has been around. This stuff is not brand new anymore. Now it's very obvious that without this, y'all can't do nothing. It's very obvious. Anyway.
Oh, but we're just a bunch of YouTubers. We don't matter, right? Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, you all are supposed to be journalists. You all are supposed to have a fundamental understanding of media, no matter what it's for. You all are on TV. It's it ain't like you all are just on newspapers and stuff.
Right.
Like you all know where the stuff is going when it comes to legacy media, and you're black. So at the end of the day, she could have built a Caribbean audience. There's audiences she could have built within the black, but the problem is she got paid to look. These people are propagandists. They're not even journalists. In fact, I'm calling you a journalist out of respect. If you're not a journalist, if you're doing propaganda, I'm not calling you a journalist.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, I'm not. This idea that y'all just automatically get journalism. BGS played a video, I think either him on his live or Arts, where it was they were talking about Rachel Maddow. They were talking about the situation with Joy Reid and how they're not allowed to criticize Democrats because you all are a propaganda machine of the Democratic Party. People were joking that way, but y'all really are. You all really. It's like, okay, if I work, let's say I contract with a company. Let's say it's Microsoft. I don't. That's why I'm saying that. And you have you have the project manager, right? So let's say you're a contractor. You have a contractor team. Let's say it's customer service, and you have the project manager, and then you have their counterpart, which is like the contract manager or project manager on Microsoft side. So they represent what Microsoft wants, and they're the face of Microsoft evaluating what your team or what you're doing as a contractor. And if we're going to move forward with this contract, renew this contract, if you're effing up, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Basically, MSNBC might as well have that version of that in the DNC. And I'm sure they do. It's just unofficial. That's what's going on. And it's not that Joy Reid meets them. It's probably the editors and people on the up and up. And I'm sure they have it to where these conversations are happening at these dinners and stuff where it's not official. And then she just gets orders. That's what you are. You're not a journalist. What you do is not journalism. What you do is propaganda. That's all it is. And if you believe that the stuff you're doing, it matters. Explain to me why what you do matters without Republicans. Because all you're doing, in my mind, as far as what matters, is you're going up against Republicans. So you see, the Democratic and Republican Party used to be one party once upon a time that nobody never talks about, by the way. The reality is they play off each other.
It was called the Democrat-Republican Party, if I'm not mistaken, the original name of it.
They play off each other. Like Professor Black Truth does a good job of talking about that, how Democrats let Republicans sow chaos among certain demographics, whether it's black and, quite frankly, working class whites to some extent. And then they come in, especially post Citizens United, because Citizens United is when the Democrats basically betrayed even white people, like working class white people, to the tech companies. The tech companies were not that big before then. After that, they got bigger, not because of that, but because of other factors. So they become focused donors. That's what I mean. You have your Apples, you have your Microsoft that are way huger. And so, Republicans have like big oil. they have like the tech companies and other, stuff going on. So they don't need the unions like they used to. And so Citizens United happened in like 2005. We're 20 years past that.
No, it happened around 2010ish because right before the
Okay.
2010.
So we're almost a generation past that.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute. And so that is, we've been at least 3 election cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
12, 16. We're 4 election cycles. So it's been in effect. We're 4 election cycles for the presidency. Obviously, every 2 years, we're almost double that. And that's never talked about. They don't give context. They don't. Now, some people are better than others. Some people care more than others. But yeah, they're propaganda pieces. And if you understand that, you know to take what they say with a grain of salt. The problem is people don't really know an alternative. They don't know an alternative. So they're like, well, what do we do? Who do we listen to? That's the problem. Now I have my people, but you may not like my people. You know what I'm saying? Like you may not like BGF. You may not, because he doesn't have the credentials. Who is Professor Black Truth? He might be white.
Don't get me started on credentials, Ed.
Even if you take a Dr. Tiasan Johnson, there's other people that are more credentialized. But here's the thing: even with the credentialized people, you haven't seen them on TV enough.
Yeah. Don't get me started though, because I just played a. I don't know if you saw my stream Saturday. I played a most educated crashing out over a damn refrigerator. I call it the most educated crash out. She allegedly had a PhD and literally just crashed out over a damn refrigerator. Try to fight the repair, the delivery guy and everything.
They really be thinking them PhDs mean something. There is such a thing as a PhD in bullshit or in things that don't matter. And even if you have a PhD, tell me how your act, like for instance, let's say somebody, notice how all these black women got bachelor's degrees in psychology.
Yeah.
Yet none of them understand the black female condition in a very real, practical way that can kind of get black women navigating through this stuff.
Yeah. Got a degree in psychology. Don't even understand yourself, let alone anybody else.
I mean, for real. Like, what book? Like, give me a book, The Diary of Understanding a Black Woman, or the book from I forget her name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see a picture. Yeah, give me a black female psychologist has done something that's more impactful than that. You won't have it. You got all these credential, even psychologists. You don't have psychologists writing books on typical or blogs on typical black female stuff that black women need to navigate. Truth be told, you don't hear a lot of black women even talk about black female mortality. For real. I mean, with what about black men? You got Dr. Claude Anderson. People even have an issue with Boyce Watkins, but he's doing more than it's the point is black men, they just don't get highlighted. And some of that is for a reason. Like when they start highlighting Robert Smith too much, he started getting in trouble. We know why. Yep. David Stern, same thing. It's kind of like if you need to know, you need to know. But ultimately, you have these degrees that don't matter. And I mean, even from a perspective of black women, black women are 1 in 4 of them are going to be married. Okay, what do y'all need to do to put them in line so they can find mates? Okay, black men are not going to be good enough. So, what about going out and dealing with the diaspora? They never want to do that because again, they want control over there, and they don't have the leverage. And so what they do is they're in this constant circle of black men aren't doing enough, and it becomes like a whiplash to get black men to do more, to the point where now a lot of black men have value are not really doing it like that. So now these chicks are out here Valentine's Day, they don't know what to do. Men aren't obsessed with women anymore. They're going to your nearest, hustler, pander bear to lie to them so they can cope.
Oh, there's plenty of those, especially on TikTok. Good Lord. Yeah, there are plenty of those.
Yeah, and they be like, well, and because black women love being lied to. People be like, people stop selling crack when people stop buying it.
Yeah, that's true, Johnny Anderson. They have become the face of educated fools, sadly. But yeah, you hear they actually brought charges up on AOC.
I heard they
Yeah,
were going to for what? For what? She
for
was teaching people how to get out of this ice shit.
yeah,
Any of y'all that continuously vote for her and you in her district, you're an idiot if you black.
yeah, just like her, she's an idiot. But she allegedly is supposed to be the so-called future of the Democrat Party. I'm like, that's not a bright future. Neither is Jasmine Crockett either. That's not a bright future. Oh Lord, we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, I believe it's supposed to start around
What
9:50.
happened with Omar?
Omar, we covered a little bit of that yesterday. Apparently, she married her brother or something on that order.
He married her brother.
Yeah.
Damn, that's some Arab Somali shit.
Well, apparently, it's not some shit they own either. They had to secretly get married because she couldn't do it the normal way because somebody would have recognized, that they're siblings
Yeah,
or they
that's
were.
illegal in the United States. You can't do that in the United States.
No, this is even in Somalia standards. You can't do that
No,
crap.
I get that, but I heard that they did it in order to green card thing.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. What's going on, Louis?
Man, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but that's some dirty foot shit.
It is. I looked at her profile. She's been married 3 times. She was married to some other dude before. Then she married this dude that they're talking about. Then she married that white dude. They said she was their campaign manager or something. So okay, whatever. And allegedly she has 2 children by this dude that they saying is her brother. So like you said, that's some dirty foot shit.
Yeah, that is. Like even for Arabs, that's crazy. That's crazy. And even that white dude, it's like you would have, but he probably getting paid.
Yeah, more than
These
likely.
white dudes love hustling off these shit, eating off black women.
Yeah, he's probably getting paid. Most definitely.
I mean, he probably like her because she ain't ugly, but for her age, but that's a
Yeah,
reality.
ugly. For a congresswoman, she's pretty hot.
Yeah. But I appreciate her representing them immigrants because now can't no news cycle try to put her with black people. I'm like, nope, nope.
Mm-hmm.
She is not black, like she said. She is Somali.
Yep. She claims Somalia, so don't put her with black folk, but they're gonna try anyway. Of course.
Sometimes they like maybe they know they can get us next time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on anti-Muslim kit. That's Fox, but I'm on some anti-Muslim today, so we'll get them in the next hour.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the so-called boycott that was supposed to happen Friday? I guess the financial boycott, 24-hour
Yeah, man,
financial.
people in my real life ask me about that shit. And I told them it ain't gonna happen, and they got to talk about why. I'm like, first of all, remember you called me, and I got
Mm-hmm.
other things to do, But so that's the first strike one. But but explaining it. And my brother has been getting called. Like people are really getting tripped up about Trump. Anyway, to answer your question,
Mm-hmm.
It was never going to happen. First of all, Walmart employs a lot of black women.
Yes.
And
Well,
Walmart can always pull that cord. Walmart, like, y'all, we can, like, trust and trust me, black women are not the most hardest workers, despite what people at that retail floor level. Now, I ain't gonna say they're lazy, but don't act like y'all be in there and that y'all be in there
working
doing
hard.
warehouse work. Y'all be doing store shopper, cashier. Walmart
Yeah,
is
you
one
be up
of
front doing the cashier, be a greeter or
Yeah,
something like
and I'm
that.
not hating. It is what it is. I ain't had no bad experience with them, but Walmart the Waltons can always pull that card if they want to pull it. Like
Mm-hmm.
speaking of DEI, before DEI was popular, we are the top employers for minority, including African, highlighted in all cap, African American women, bold that, underline it, just to let them know.
Yeah,
You know,
I know women that work for Walmart, so yeah.
yeah, like, but that's like a known thing.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, not to mention Walmart, even though on the flip side, Walmart benefits from this, the EBT and SNAP stuff that they do and
Right.
how expensive they've got, even though they get that money from the government, to
Mm-hmm.
provide that. So they benefit, but still. So this idea, now what they'd have to do is showcase that they got managers, and I'm sure they got store managers, you can cut a commercial of a lot of
Mm-hmm.
black store managers and stuff. I'm sure they can.
Yeah.
Or operations managers. So that's as far as Walmart. As far as Amazon don't care because ultimately they know what they offer. They know, and on the low with Amazon, see, a lot of people don't know how Amazon works. Amazon, for their truck driving, they operate their truck driving, at least the vans that take the packages to you. That's a franchise. Amazon is like a franchisee, and they franchise that out to subcontractors. So I'm sure they can show a whole bunch, show some black female owners of various logistics. Talk about the opportunities they provide, and on the low, there's a lot of black women that work for Amazon proper.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me how I know Amazon. So this idea, so they can always lean on the who they employ aspect, even before they say what you really gonna do. They can always lean on we are high level employers of these people, and then pluck out the couple of people they got in higher positions because whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, so just because they were hiring these people before DEI was even on the books, and the other thing, so yeah, and let's keep it real. Even with all that being said, black people are not disciplined enough. That's the problem.
No,
We're
they're
not
not.
disciplined with our dollar. That's the problem. You all can't stop buying weed from the Asians. Y'all can't stop buying fried chicken from the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Let's cut the bull. Let's cut the
They
BS.
can't stop buying weed from the Asians after they found out they have cancerous crap in their hair. Oops.
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud?
Let's keep it all the way real. So y'all are not serious. Y'all are not serious because y'all are addicted to consumption. That's the issue. Y'all are not serious.
Also, when they said they were going to boycott Walmart, I was like, yeah, right. Black people boycott Walmart. I want to see this.
Okay,
Now,
well,
now, allegedly, and I think they're bullshitting, but allegedly, couple of so-called Walmart employees were showing video of nobody in the aisles, and
that's a lie. That's a lie.
I
That's a
know it's a
lie.
lie.
Everybody,
And you can see the camera cuts. You know it's a lie.
yeah, because
They
number one,
act like I can't see them camera cuts. I'm like, yeah, y'all lying. Come on.
first of all, everybody ain't in every aisle in every hour. Some of these Walmarts are 24 hours. The Walmart is not slow at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, man. Y'all, and they know you can't. Good. Maybe people will stop stealing. Maybe if so many of y'all stop showing up to our place, we will have less shrink. And by the way, you know what they can do? I'm gonna say this and I'm done. They keep effing around and they're gonna close a lot of these Walmarts.
They already are. Just because of the stealing and stuff.
You know what? Let's put out a list of all the Walmarts we about to close and watch them cry.
Yep.
in a hood near you.
As y'all see, President Trump is coming to the mic.
All white men in the house. All white men are in the building.
Yeah, pretty
Stand
much.
by. First time you're not seeing Nancy fucking Pelosi.
Mm-hmm. I think that's Nancy Mace, if I'm not mistaken. Got a chocolate chip in there.
I saw DC and Company did a stream a couple days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched some of it. Yeah, they were talking about the Ukraine mess too.
Be like, so what happened? Zelensky thought he was a black woman for a moment. He'll be all right. He thought he was talking to a black man.
Mm. No, he wasn't talking to one of those.
These niggas. You saw what Trudeau tried to say, talking to President Trump by his first name
Mm-hmm.
on his last day before he got fired, before he left. Ain't nobody trying to annex Canada. Trump is trolling.
Hey, what's going on, James?
Hey, what up, fellas? What's going on? What's going on?
Just having a little fun here covering the president's address.
Man, do you realize how many Democrats are not even there? They're
It
wearing like
sounds like
different. They're wearing
Yo,
different
I
colors.
thought that shit looked kind of empty, or not empty, but lesser.
Slim, bro. This is the thing that, and before this starts, do Democrat? I mean, how much more destruction do you need?
Hold on, James. Before you start talking, you know what the Democrats did, AB and James?
what?
They fled. They fled. They fled.
I mean, my brothers, like the
Mm-hmm.
fact that you're not even at the State of the Union, knowing that the popular vote wanted this man in, instead of studying and like, all right, how do we win back? Like you doing this like what they call it DII with Target. Talking
DEI,
about
whatever.
boycott.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they gonna boycott. Like what do you
Salute Double C.
man? If
They
Trump
fled.
if Trump takes this economy better than the Clinton years, it's whole
It's
man.
over.
Listen,
Yeah, yeah.
Speaker Johnson,
Here we go.
Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States,
Smart move. He probably still hates his gun, but smart move.
She still looked captured.
Yep.
members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
Yeah, there definitely ain't no Democrats in there. I can't even hear any boos or nothing.
Six weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
True.
There go Tim Scott.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes. We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Now there's some Democrats in there.
Oh God.
I figure it'd be a little entertaining, so let's keep watching. By the way, hit my Cash App support
And
the
won
show.
counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican. Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest 1-month gain ever recorded.
Mr.
A
President.
Oh, they're gonna pull a Joe
41-point
Wilson?
jump.
Okay. They pulling their own Joe Wilson, so okay.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Okay.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing
Show us
breach
how
of
you really
decorum,
feel.
and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Why
Keep
gotta
that
be a
stuff come
black
up.
vote? Why?
Was it a black person?
Sit
What
your ass down, man.
Hey, James, what did I tell you about ponds?
You ain't done nothing for Texas.
Mr. Green, take your seat.
Oh, it's Jasmine?
Take your
Okay.
seat, sir.
That's
Oh,
green.
green. Okay,
Take your
green.
seat.
Okay.
Finding that
Put
members
your ass
continue to
down,
engage
man.
in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order.
Yeah, because y'all making
Remove
Mike
this
look bad.
gentleman from the chamber.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, they wouldn't have did that. I don't care. The Republicans wouldn't have acted like that with Pelosi. Like that one dude, he said that one thing with Obama,
Yeah.
and then he shut up because Pelosi ain't that chick to play with.
hmm
It wasn't even about Obama.
Remember when homeboy called Obama a liar? Have you heard
Yeah,
anything?
you lied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's all he did. And then remember he didn't keep it up. And remember when he acted like he looked like he didn't
Members are
know where he
directed
was.
to uphold and maintain
That's who acted like he
decorum
didn't
in
know
the
where he
House.
was. Like he knew the
Mr.
belt was
President, you
coming.
continue.
Yep.
Thank you. Over the past
This is
6
embarrassing,
weeks,
bro.
I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
hmm
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you don't crash out if you say something it's a policy. Don't crash out. He just at this point he just giving facts with some Trump seasoning.
Yeah. Do that shit
In
behind
fact,
closed
it has been
doors.
stated by
Let
many
the white folks have their
that the
fun. Maybe they'll
first
stop
month
shooting
of
stuff.
our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation
Oh,
by many.
Trump said, I'm just gonna talk some shit.
And
Why
what
not?
makes it
I would
even
talk shit
more
too.
impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to
Pretty
make
much.
them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
They mad as fuck.
So, Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
What if he said the Democrats in front of me? Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid. I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction. To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term. And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job. And we have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back. And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
The argument here.
I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Why not?
And likewise, I renamed, for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer.
Yippee.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
Yes. Definitely no arguments there.
Three years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
Yes, he does.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer. What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
Mm-hmm. Don't nobody say shit.
What's good, Playboy?
What's going on?
What's the State of the Union?
It's addressed to Congress. I don't know if it's the official State of the Union, but
Joe Biden especially let the price
Well, at least
of
he's
eggs
getting ahead
get
of the
out
game.
Control.
If it ain't,
The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down, Secretary. Do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job. A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The
Oh,
previous
yeah?
administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed
Goddamn.
pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
Works for me.
No complaints.
And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill. My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA. To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars. And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Oh, they're gonna be crying about that.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
What? What?
This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Oh. Uh-oh.
A $3.5
Uh-oh.
million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education, the most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud. And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old.
Damn.
It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them. And we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid, and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
Funny.
Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229 one person between the age of 240 and 249, and
Damn.
one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years, more than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going. And it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
Mm-hmm.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it. With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
Sound like a good idea to me.
Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again. And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over. And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here. I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts because otherwise, I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax. Thank you. It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors. And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America. And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
Yep. Just heard about that today. They're building a new plant in Indiana.
And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term. If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea. But that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day was cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them. If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it.
Yep.
We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth,
Mm-hmm.
and we will not let that happen any longer.
No arguments here.
Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done
Sounds
if
good to me.
Kamala had won. Apple
Mm-hmm.
announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
Okay. We did it somewhere.
And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people, and they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt.
Oh boy, I can hear the
Or
cry.
any other
Oh
reason
Lord,
you
I
want to.
know a certain group of butthurt blues are gonna be crying about that. Oh Lord. Oh boy.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer, who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases. and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen.
Sounds good to me.
And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steelworker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama, Jeff Denard. Has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
Mm.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again. And it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh. And look where Biden took us, very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States. Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John.
Okay.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passed the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast. And I want to thank Tom Homan And Christy, I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement.
Very true.
Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Lakin Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Lakin was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Lakin was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the
Not a
life
good
of this
look.
beautiful young angel.
Not a good look.
With us this evening are Lakin's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren. Last year, I told Lakin's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act. It's called the Lakin-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Lakin Hope Riley.
Well said.
Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
Excuse me. Great show, AB. I'm going to head on
The
over to
media
Arts right
and our
now.
friends
I'll
of
see
the
you over there later.
Democrat Party kept
All right.
saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Well.
Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption. Like
I got 54 watching. Like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show, hit the Super Chat, support the show.
the great liberation of America. But there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know Alexis Nungary from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are two illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter. And earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Nice.
Thank you very much. All three savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations. They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy. In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Roberto. And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great, great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing. Five nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it. And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns.
Yes, indeedy.
In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bond, good luck. So important. Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you. Thank you, Cash. They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice. One year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests, and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much. Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest. And we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
No arguments here.
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed.
What the?
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
All right, young man. Not bad. Okay. Not bad. Okay, young man.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
All right. Nice.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer actually a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Oh. Interesting. Oh boy. I want to see how. Let me go on and post something right now.
Thank you, DJ. DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget.
Oh, that's a good dig. That's a good dig.
Our
right
goal
there.
is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our
Damn
food
right.
supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong, 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you. Go get him. Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology.
No arguments here.
I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth. And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie. And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you.
Amen.
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better? Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations. And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What a difference. And you know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit.
Mm.
Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing. And thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a six-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
Nice. Now I'm quite sure that Hurt Blue's gonna be butthurt about this, but what do you expect?
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA. And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim? Right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it. Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others. but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Mm.
And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody. And we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job. Great job. And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security. And we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
All right.
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown that when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords. And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed
Yes,
or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict
very true.
with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Ha! Pathetic.
2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible
Yep.
to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful? It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end the senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight.
Nice.
To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us.
Mm-hmm.
As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father,
Mm-hmm.
and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you. To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon, Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country, because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth.
We'll see.
We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
Time will tell.
And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve. My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless America.
All right. That was your 47th President of the United States. And pretty good. A lot of surprises I didn't see coming, but it was pretty good. So, Art New Stall is live down, so I'm about to shut this stream down. I would like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83. I'm out. Hit the Cash App. Support the show. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.